best advice I would give to my freshman self is to do it for yourself, not for anyone else.
Theater is a collaboration, not a competition. End of story.
I think even though if you're really talented, it's very important to stay humble and kind because there's no problem with being nice.
I would tell myself to just appreciate what we have here because a lot of kids don't have the same opportunities and classes and facilities that we have. And I would also say have fun because it goes by faster than you think.
You're gonna realize senior year that it's great to do everything, to just dip your foot in the water just a little bit. So I encourage everyone to join clubs, join sports, and be an active member in theater. But also remember that just because you're super passionate about one thing doesn't mean that you should slack in other things. You need to be able to be a well-rounded student, but have enough passion in all those things while you do it.
Throw out those monologue books. That's it. That's all. Throw them out.
But I think it's important to know that not everything is about getting into that big name college or that big name university. If you have a dream and you think you can do it and you think you can follow it, then I think you should just go ahead and follow it.
You really don't know what's going on in everyone's lives, so theater could be competitive. Just remember that everybody's here to do what they want to do. They love theater, so just make sure that you treat everyone with respect and just work hard because hard work pays off.
My best advice would be to always have a great attitude because it will take you really far.
I would say that high school is not the end-all be-all. So if you have a bad day, it's not the end of the world. And also don't cry on the first day of school because you'll never live it down.
Work hard at the beginning so that way you have time to sit back and enjoy high school.
Be confident in who you are as a person, and that matters with anything, with academics, with making new friends.
Be a well-rounded person, explore your other interests because that'll inform you as an artist and as an actor. And so the more you do that, you just will become a better person.
The best advice I would give my freshman self is that grades matter. Always volunteer first for performances. Keep a positive attitude. Be on time because those extra minutes of sleep aren't worth it, trust me. And do not bring Starbucks into Mr. Paris's class.
It's okay if you discover that your passion isn't everyone else's.
At the end of the day, nobody's gonna care how stupid you look on stage. Being a goofball got me somewhere, so.
I know we hear it from everyone that everything is an audition, but here at Blake, everything really is an audition. You need to make sure that you treat everyone right. You need to make sure that you work your way up in correct ways and just make sure you're treating everything like an audition.
Okay, I'm ready. If you truly want to do this, then you need to work as hard as possible because it will not be handed to you. But you should also remember that you love it, and so you should enjoy it.
My best academic advice would be that the best schools for theater are the best schools academically. So know kind of what your track is going to be and know that if you want to go to school for theater, you have to keep your grades up.
Test scores don't define you.
Stay ahead of the work. Like, instead of waiting for like the next assignment to come and actually look for the next assignment, ask for the next assignment so that you'll be ahead.
I think it's very hard to stay like on top of your academics while you're putting your whole heart and soul into a theater program and something totally different. So I think it's important to like stay on top of everything and balance everything.
Get hope done early, and I'd also say if you take any other virtual school classes, don't procrastinate with them because they're a pain in the butt to finish last minute.
Oh my goodness, make sure you start early because you don't want to be the senior behind everyone else, I can promise you that.
From day one, figure out a plan for your 4 years because I didn't know what an AP class was until my sophomore year. And I feel like if I had had all the information at the beginning, I would have done a lot better than I did in high school. So figure out a plan for your 4 years when you get here.
Don't take a bunch of AP classes just because your friends are taking them. ...
I would say that if like all your friends are doing really hard AP work, it's just like really hard classes, don't feel pressured because everyone else is doing it. Everybody's at their own pace and just choose what class is best for you.
Grades matter. That's really important. You need to focus on your grades from freshman year and not just start focusing junior year because at that point it's too late. Also take the SAT and the ACT as many times as possible and start early on that as well too.
It's okay if you don't take every AP class, that you're still gonna go to college and you'll still get accepted.
If you want to learn, you will learn.
I think handling rejection is actually one of the biggest lessons that I've learned here at Blake, because I've learned that if you don't get that lead or you don't get that big shining role that you wanted, you have a chance to shine in the minor supporting roles. And so if you don't get that part that you wanted, then you need to take the part that you get and you need to do what you can with it to make sure that you're known and that you shine in the role.
There's always other opportunities here. There's always another show. There's always another coffee house or something. There's always another performance. So just work hard for that next opportunity.
With rejection, just don't take anything personally. I promise that it's not you specifically. There's always going to be someone that's better than you, no matter what it is, whether it's sports, whether it's leadership, whether it's theater. There's always going to be someone that can do it better than you, and I know that sounds really bad. But just know that rejection is a part of becoming who you are and taking that criticism in and realizing, okay, next time I do it, how am I going to do it better?
It's okay to feel sad, but just know that it'll be over in a couple of months and then your next opportunity will come. And trust me, an opportunity will come along, just as long as you keep working at it and keep a positive attitude.
Something that I wish that I had realized earlier is that not every part is right for me, and if you're not getting cast but you still like what you're doing, then you know you're doing it for the right reasons.
There are always other opportunities, and you just kind of have to get over it and wait for the next one, and that's how it is.
I handle rejection by trying to look at things objectively, because that person got the role for a reason and it's not their fault. So they probably have something that you can take from and learn from and use it to your advantage later on in other auditions. So be a good sport, congratulate them, and learn from them.
I would say just move on and keep working hard, because the harder you work, the more opportunities will come your way.
I said it earlier, but hard work really pays off, so maybe you didn't get the role or not have any lines in any shows ever, but you might end up getting into colleges, and so just remember that. Keep working hard.
Always ask what you could have done better, because the directors here will give you that advice in return, and just take that and learn from it.
Something my mom was really good at was letting me do this process on my own and being my cheerleader instead of letting me have everything just given to me.
Mama Bear does not always have to come out. You have to be able to trust your kids and know that if they need to put themselves out there and talk to a teacher or talk to a student about an issue that's coming, give them advice, but you don't have to be the one to call that teacher and yell at them.
Maybe to make friends with more theater parents and not be mean all the time, or mean sometimes. I don't know.
It's not that deep, really. There's always other opportunities for them, and it's important to give them space to learn and grow, especially at a place like Blake.
Trust your kid that they would ask questions themselves and not, you don't have to get involved if it's not necessary.
Something my parents did well was that they supported me in what I chose to do, and they didn't push me to do anything that I didn't think was right for me. And I think that's a big part of high school, is making your own decisions and finding out what's right for you to do.
Be there to support your student. I mean, don't be so overbearing, but once in a while just check in. Theater can be really stressful and a lot of work, so just make sure your child's doing all right.
You should know that your kids are sorry about how much money you're spending on Blake Theater.
I think parents need to start learning to let their child handle things on their own. And if there is a problem or there's something that you want to bring up or bring to the table, do it yourself. Don't let your parent email that teacher, or don't let your parent complain for you. Make sure you're handling everything yourself and being as mature about the situation as possible.
Let your kids figure out things on their own. High school's about growing up, and if you're holding them down, your kids aren't going to grow up.
Remember that when your child doesn't get the part, it's not the end of the world. It is time for them to stand on their own.
My best advice for parents is to retain some of your humility, because sometimes when you don't, it permeates to your child and it can make them very unpleasant to be around.
My advice for incoming parents would be to read the handbook, because I promise the answers are always in there.
Anything else you want to add?
No.
Can I start over? I said That was so
Talk straight to me, just keep going.
Grades matter.
Start over from the beginning.
Awesome.
I hated that. Can I please do that again?
The best advice I would give to my freshman self is that grades matter.
You're gonna look like crap by the end of senior year, so start now.
The best advice I would give to my
Stop.